Marissa stepped onto the witness stand, her clothes wrinkled, her posture tired and worn. A colonel sitting nearby sneered. This is a courtroom, not a diary booth. When she lowered her head and spoke too softly, the judge slammed his gavel. "Speak up! You think a whisper is enough?" The courtroom erupted in laughter. Officers shook their heads, probably just another logistics girl pretending to be important. But the instant she whispered, "Vox Delta 90," the air changed. A silent tension spread. Emergency signals flared. The central system flickered. Voice confirmed. The laughter died instantly, like someone had flipped a switch. Two security officers in crisp uniforms exchanged a look. One fumbled for his encrypted phone, fingers trembling as he entered a code. The other stepped back, boots squeaking on the polished floor, whispering instructions to his partner. The judge, hair gray and face carved by years of authority, leaned forward, glasses slipping. "What did you just say?" he asked slowly, each word deliberate. Marissa's hands clasped in front of her faded gray skirt, pale skin almost glowing under the courtroom lights. She didn't flinch. "I triggered an Alpha Sun Troll directive," she said calmly, as if reciting a grocery list. "Verification system will respond within 60 seconds. A clerk nearby, his tie crooked and blazer faded, snorted. "She's playing spy games. Wrinkled clothes, no makeup. Just some desk jockey who overheard a code once." The young aide with red nails smirked. "Probably thinks she's in a movie." A few officers chuckled, glancing at Marissa's hunched shoulders. She didn't react. She adjusted her skirt, fingers brushing the frayed hem, straightened slightly, gaze fixed on the flickering screen. The clerk's smirk faltered as he noticed her steady hands, but he shook it off, tossing another file onto the pile. The room stayed quiet. Too quiet. A young soldier in the corner whispered to his companion, "What's she talking about?" The lanky private replied, "Key archive? Sounds like made-up nonsense." But their smiles faded as they noticed the colonel's face, barrel-chested, chest bristling with medals. He stared at Marissa like she had pulled a pin from a live grenade. The wall-mounted monitor flickered. A line of text appeared. "Code verification in process." The room felt like it held its breath. Marissa didn't move, didn't glance at the judge or the whispering officers. Her loose black hair fell over one shoulder. Her blouse wrinkles screamed she didn't belong among the starched uniforms, but her dark, tired eyes held certainty. The judge cleared his throat. "Young lady, this is a serious proceeding. You can't just walk in and throw out random codes." A stenographer muttered under her breath, loud enough for the front row, "This is a waste of time. She can barely stand straight." Officers smirked. Major Juan leaned to a colleague. "Bet she's got nothing but stories from some old base job." Marissa's fingers twitched, but she didn't respond. Instead, she retrieved a small, crumpled photo of a desert base at sunset, glanced at it briefly, then tucked it away, shoulders tensing ever so slightly. The screen flashed red. Voice confirmed. Protected entity. Do not interrogate. Shock rippled across the room. Chairs scraped back as officers jumped. The female captain yanked off her headset. "Impossible," she muttered. The major in the front row stammered. "That's a national verification voice. Not allowed to be recorded. Charges suspended indefinitely." Marissa remained calm. "I'm only authorized to speak when permitted." The colonel leaned forward, metals clinking. "You think 4 words can save you from charges of destroying classified files?" The congressman slammed his fist. "We can detain you for obstructing trial procedures." The female captain scoffed, rolling her eyes. Probably read some old report and wants to be famous. An older officer pointed at Marissa. "You're nobody. No clearance, no record. Just some ghost from some forgotten base." Marissa tilted her head, eyes locking onto him. Silence followed, louder than any argument. The officer sat down, flushed, fumbling with his pen. She didn't raise her voice, didn't argue. She stepped back, hand to her forehead like shielding her eyes from the sun. An unrecognized gesture, deliberate, signaling something beyond the room. The screen pulsed, code verification in process. The congressman went pale, loosened his tie. The captain stopped smirking. The colonel's eyes narrowed, silent. A civilian contractor whispered, "She's bluffing. Low-level clerk playing special." Marissa didn't react. She set her worn bag on the floor, straightened her posture. Silence stretched. Then the screen flashed red again. Voice confirmed, protected entity, do not interrogate. Marissa finally spoke, calm and deliberate. "I'm only authorized to speak when permitted." An anesthetic officer yelled, "This is a circus!" Others murmured agreement. Marissa glanced at the floor crack, brushed it briefly, and the room quieted. Officer straightened. The legal recorder stopped typing, the judge's gavel forgotten. "What are you?" he asked, quietly, with respect in his tone. Marissa didn't answer. She just stood, scanning every face, every uniform, every whisper. She didn't need to speak. The screen had spoken for her. A panel member challenged her. "Say another code, or is that your only trick?" Whispers rose, accusing, mocking. The lieutenant muttered, "Nothing but a weak voice." The captain smirked again. Marissa reached into her pocket, revealing a tarnished keychain with a faded star. Silence fell. She walked to the evidence table, picked up a triple-sealed silver envelope, and placed it in front of the judge. "Level 3 response code, Phoenix, Eco, Theta," she whispered. The words rippled through the room. The judge hesitated, breaking the wax seals. Inside was a single sheet that bore a directive only the Supreme Commander could issue. The colonel's chair scraped loudly as he realized her authority. The envelope carried the insignia of a long-disbanded program. "That directive reactivates only when I vocalize the code at the correct frequency," Marissa said. Outside, sirens wailed. Operation Red Desert terminated. Technicians panicked. Officers shouted over each other. The female captain's smirk vanished. The young soldier's jaw dropped. Marissa's calm, measured posture contrasted with the chaos. She lowered her hands. "I'm only authorized to speak when permitted." The courtroom froze as red lights flashed. All present flagged for unsecured exposure to key voice protocol. Await debrief. Doors locked with a click. Panic spread. The colonel's phone buzzed, security clearance revoked, the captain's name hit a watch list, the congressman's shady connections exposed online. Careers crumbled. Marissa walked toward the exit, flanked by agents. The judge, envelope in hand, sat alone. She didn't look back. She had revealed the truth and survived. Outside, sunlight hit her face. A black car arrived. A man stepped out, tall, calm, unreadable. Her husband. Authority, presence, silence. She entered the car, closing the door softly, leaving chaos behind. Inside the courtroom, names blinked on the screen. Unauthorized exposure. Consequences rolled out. Careers ended, reputations shattered. Officers who laughed at her before now stared in fear. Marissa didn't celebrate. She went home to a modest apartment. Her husband poured her a glass of water. They stood in silence, warm and safe. She wasn't a victim or a hero. She was just Marissa, a woman who carried a secret heavier than most could imagine. The world kept turning, but for those in that courtroom, nothing was the same. They'd heard a voice they couldn't forget. And Marissa, she kept walking. Steady steps, head high. not because she had won, but because she had survived. She had stood among those who misjudged her and shown them the truth, softly, quietly, like a whisper that could stop the world.